Michigan got a new basketball commit out of the transfer portal. The Michigan Wolverines demolished the Tennessee Volunteers in the Elite Eight, 95-62. And now they're demolishing them in the transfer portal as well, as they got JP Estrella to commit to the Michigan Wolverines only 3 days into the transfer portal. Dusty, man, you gotta like take a few more days, right? You're not really helping yourself with the tampering allegations here. If you know me and you watch this channel, you know we don't take those tampering things super seriously. Like, everybody tampers. I'm sure Dusty has tampered. Guess what? I'm sure your coach has tampered too. Everybody tampers. It's a loser comment, in my opinion, to try and go after somebody and say, oh, now he doesn't count because you tampered. Whatever. Anyway, I don't need to get back on that whole thing. But just days after winning the national championship, Dusty May went straight into the portal and stole the Tennessee starting big man, center, whatever you want to call him, right out of under Rick Barnes's nose. Estrella is 6'11", 240 pounds. He's a pure rim-rattling athleticism. And after he got blown out by Michigan said, you know what? We like you. We'll take you over here. So Michigan fans are a little divided on this one still, but one thing is clear. Dusty May sees something the rest of us do not see. He is a forward and a center. He can kind of play both situations here. He's all the way up from Maine. Originally grew up, I believe, in New Hampshire situation there. But he was a 4-star recruit, top 60 overall, and top 10 center overall in the nation, third best player in New Hampshire. His freshman year at Tennessee, it was a deep bench, limited minutes, had 1.6 points per game. Sophomore year, he had a season-ending foot injury after just 3 games, which makes him a redshirt, which is important in this distinction because Michigan does not typically take juniors who are becoming seniors. So even though this was his 3rd year, he did get that red shirt, and he is also graduating early. So this is technically a situation where he is a graduate transfer, and he still has 2 years of eligibility left. So it's actually really interesting how this all works out. And then his junior season was his breakout season, 10 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game, almost 20 minutes per game on 13 starts. He finished as Tennessee's starting center. The On3 industry portal rankings have him as number 36 overall, and the number 7 power forward is what they have him as in the portal. Michigan literally watched him up close in the Elite Eight, and something we talk about here all the time is you have to look at these teams that other teams play, because oftentimes schools like to go after the guys they've actually seen in person, right? Dusty May looking at JP Estrella. Brad Underwood is rumored to be going after Terrence Hill from VCU, who they saw in the NCAA tournament. There's a bunch of other guys that guys are going after right now. But if you look at like teams that they've played, it's actually really interesting how those things play out. So this past season, Estrella was an elite rebounder, an elite finisher down in the post, even though he only played less than 20 minutes per game. He still had some really good rates. 17.3 offensive rebounding rate. That was 8th in the entire country. 23.8 at field goal attempts that were putbacks. That is 67.9% on those. That is filthy for second chance opportunities. He led Tennessee with 4 shots at the rim per game on less than 20 minutes per game. 4 shots at the rim per game, shooting over 65% from there. 53.7% on other paint jumpers, plus a 53.8% on mid-range as well, and over 60% on twos overall. He is a physical specimen. He's not this skinny 7-footer or anything like that. He's a guy, 240, can get down there, bully with the best of them. While everyone is chasing perimeter wings and stuff like that, Dusty is going down there to grab a 6'11" offensive rebounding machine who can bang down low and punish you if, obviously not in a dirty way, but, punish you, not in a cheap shot or anything like that, if you try to come at the rim. Tennessee had, all kinds of putback dunks. You could see the highlight reel all over the place if you go and watch his stuff. And we're being honest here. He's not an elite rim protector. There's aspects of the defense here that would, it's kind of surprising. You get a guy from Tennessee and he's not really known for his defense. Rick Barnes publicly called him out in February for his defensive angles. He was by far the worst defender, worst regular playing defender on this team, in my opinion, which again, you just don't normally see that from Tennessee, and a guy that stresses defense as much as Rick Barnes does. You would think he'd eventually get there. So we'll see. But Tennessee fans, they're apparently not too sad to see him go, but you can't read into that stuff too much, right? North Carolina said they weren't sad that Elliot Cadeau went either, and then the dude just balled out in the Final Four and in the national championship. And the guy that everybody thought, including myself, was saying like, "Hey, he has to be good." Guess what? He was good, and they won the national championship not purely because of him, but his play was a large reason why they were able to win. Not just win, but win, with as much comfort as they did. Wasn't the most comfortable game against UConn in the world, but more comfortable than some national championship games are. So this is a fantastic situation for Dusty May. This is a fantastic situation for Michigan. If you are a Michigan fan, even if you do have some concerns with like, the defense and the rim protection and stuff like that, you look at this whole thing and you say, you know what? I trust Dusty May. Dusty May has a fantastic ability of being able to go out, see what guys' strengths are, see what guys' weaknesses are, and it obviously plays into his coaching and his matchups and what he does on the court as well. But he does a fantastic job of being able to see and utilize guys' strengths and also be able to hide guys' weaknesses. This is why it's so important. It's why I stressed that it was so important that you had LJ Kaysen already registering for next year, because now Dusty May doesn't have to play that game of like, well, what guy do I have here? What guy am I going to put next to this guy here or anything like that? Dusty May now, he looks at this whole situation and says, all right, I got this guy for next year. I know exactly what he is because he played this year, and I know this roster spot is essentially open for whoever I want to go out and get. Is it Juke Harris? Is it Isaiah Johnson? Whoever it might be, go out and get somebody, and he could do the same thing with JP Estrella here. Now, it is a little bit interesting because you don't know what's going to happen with Aday Mara and Morez Johnson yet. Rumblings seem to indicate that Aday Mara will probably leave for the NBA and Morez Johnson will probably come back, but both of them are going to get some NBA buzz, and it might come down to how things go in the in the training sessions and the scouting sessions and stuff like that. But it does seem like you're most likely going to lose Aday Mara, and you're probably going to keep Morez Johnson. JP Estrella is the nice kind of middle piece here, where he can kind of play the 4 for you if you need to. It'll be a stretch 4. He could also play the 5 for you as well. Now I say a stretch 4. He only shot 10 threes this past season. He was 4 of 10. So technically he was shooting 40% from 3, and you'll see that number out there a whole lot. And while it is true, it just wasn't enough volume to truly think that a guy's going to shoot 40% from 3 for the entire season. Now, I think that Dusty May is definitely going to put that on him and say, hey, you got to keep shooting. You got to keep shooting. So he's not going to be happy with low volume or anything like that. But it is an interesting situation where sometimes you see a stat and you're like, okay, yeah, he shot 60% from the field and 40% from 3. Why wasn't Tennessee better last season? It's because he was playing less than 20 minutes per game and he only shot 10 threes last year. So, but like I said, he's shown the ability to do it. Dusty May, he sees the strengths, he sees the weaknesses. He knows how to put this team together. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think of JP Estrella to the Michigan Wolverines? Do you like it? What's the starting lineup look like for you? Do you agree with me? Looks like Morez Johnson will probably be back. Aday Mara probably gone to the NBA. We'll see what happens here. Flory Badunga also still on the board for Michigan after this. So I don't think Michigan is done yet with the big men, especially if Flory Badunga is somebody to look for. And Juke Harris still on the board. He is apparently visiting this weekend. So very, very interesting stuff going on for Michigan. We'll continue to talk about it. And if you are somebody who is looking for analysis on Sam Orme or the 2 UCLA transfer commits, I am putting out shorter videos, 2 shorts for those videos. I'm going to do Sam Orme in his own video and the 2 UCLA commits in their own video. You can go check those out either on TikTok or in the short section here on YouTube. They should be posted by the time this one is posted here.